So, SCR 2.2 is here, and after months of speculation and rumours, there is a new operator added to SCR. Yo guys, Features Gaming here, welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we are back on SCR and we are going to be checking out the brand new updates that were added in version 2.2. So, in the Discord, Toby has put the update log for version 2.2, so we are going to go over the major thing in this video, and then we'll do a few follow-up videos after this of some more updated things. So in this video, we are going to be checking out the introduction of the brand new Metro operator that was added in SCR, and obviously there were new trains as well, but obviously these are things from the Express, obviously, operator. We're not gonna, look about that. We are going to move on to this section, which is the Class 555 has been added to Metro, and there is also a double version of the 555 train that you can get when you purchase the Longer Trains Game Pass. They've also added a 7452 Airlink, a 756 also to Metro, a 756/1 has been added to Metro, and also the 777 has been added to Metro, with obviously a double car variant if you purchase the Longer Trains Game Pass. Extensions and stations: a Metro core station has been added with tunnel portals at City Hospital, Whitefield Lido and St. Helens Bridge, which is where you go into the tunnels and then into, the core stations, say Stepford Central, which is all underground. A new extension has been added from Bowden to Ellesmere Junction, with new stations at Coxley Newtown and also Barton, so those are the new Metro stations. And then also another station that has been added, which is four ways, which is between Stepford East and Stepford Central. And there is also a new signalling zone as well, but we will check that out in a future video. So the new routes on Metro are all of these. I will obviously show these in a bit more detail once we get onto the game. Door lights have been added for the Class 555 and the 777, so once again we will see if we can potentially check that out, but that might have to be in a future video. And the Class 717 has been moved to Metro as well from Connect, but the good thing is that the 717 is free on Metro. So there have been branding updates to all of the Metro stations. Stepford Central has had an additional platform built, Stepford East has also had additional platforms, High Streets has also been moved underground, Ellesmere Pond has been rebuilt, and Coxley has been upgraded with a brand new bridge. And under the announcements section, it says delay announcements have been added for trains delayed by greater than 6 minutes. But the thing about Metro is they've added a brand new train announcer, so I don't know if we'll see that in this video once again, but hopefully in a future video we should be able to check those out. So let's go ahead and check out these stations, shall we? So let's go to passenger and we'll go to the Metro thing. Now what we'll do is we won't go through the already made stations, so like Willowfield, Hemden Park, Beachley. You kind of get the gist of what they are. To my memory, they haven't really been updated, so we will only check out things like Four Ways in the brand new stations, and we'll also check out Ellesmere Pond, which was the upgraded station, and then we will have a look at the other ones as we are driving to the stations, which again will be in a separate video. But here we go, let's spawn here at Four Ways, and this is right between, like I said, Stepford Central and Stepford East, and it's right near the Stepford Connect HQ, which you can see here. And we kind of knew that this was coming, and we kind of knew where it was going to be as well, as there was a lot of speculation over here, and I'm pretty sure in the April Fool's update they had what is it called, like a building site here. So that is kind of how we knew that there was going to be a station here, which we can see is indeed Four Ways. And if we go into the station, as you can see, this is what you are greeted with. You have literally a single bench here if you really want to, and here are the, I was going to say turnstiles, but I don't think these are the turnstiles. I think turnstiles are only really used in football things, but the gates, whatever they're called. And as you can see, there is a non-operational lift here, along with a time departure board there, as you can see. And we have platform A and platform B. And the thing about Metro is that they are operated by platform letters, not platform numbers. So if we go down to platform B, it's a very green looking station, and although green is my favorite color, I don't like this version of green. But this is what the station looks like, and I think I said this in one of my or in the stream that I did. It kind of gives me old Leighton City vibes, I believe it was, when the whole thing was underground. So it it kind of gives me those sorts of, vibes. But as you can see, you have a vending machine there, and you have loads of different other things, to signify the sort of, underground station vibe. There's a few benches there that have no backrest. Well, I guess the wall is your backrest, to be fair. And obviously, this continues onto the other platform. Don't try and do that, because obviously you will be despawned, and don't you dare even do it on a public server. I am thankful that I have a VIP server to do this. But if we quickly go down to platform A, you can see it is basically the exact same on this side as well, and a bin there to put all of your rubbish in. Obviously these are the lifts, but lifts don't work in SCR yet. I don't know if they ever will. And you can have a brief look at the tunnels as well. There's one on that side, and then obviously one on the other side as well. And if we quickly go up to the station concourse, if I can figure out where I need to go, that way leads to Stepford Central, and that way leads to Stepford East. Another station that we probably knew that was coming is Coxley Newtown, as we pretty much saw again the building site around this area. And this was already in the game. It was kind of like this, but obviously it didn't say Coxley Newtown. It was sort of like a farewell to this metro station. But obviously, since metro is back in the game, it's been added, it's been re-added. And if we actually go over here, we can see just how big this station is, because none of this was built. This has all been excavated, I believe, to make way for the new station. And you can see the slight tunnel there, which obviously leads underneath, where Coxley is. And obviously Coxley still functions as a normal station. But if we go into the Coxley Newtown station, we can see what that looks like. And this is what it looks like inside of the station. So as you can see, we have an information and ticket booth here. We have the ticket sort of payment dispenser things there. We also have the barrier things here as well. And this is a station though that isn't numbered by letters. It's numbered by numbers. So obviously platform 1 and 2, if that makes sense. And this one has a more lively atmosphere compared to Four Ways, which, although it has a similar sort of station build, it's got an open roof, which obviously lets in a lot more light, and the color of the walls as well just makes it a bit more of a lively atmosphere. I do prefer this one over Four Ways. As you can see, more seating arrangements, bins as well should you need them. And this tunnel goes all the way to the other parts of the thing. So we showed this at the start. It's the other side of the I was going to say highway. This isn't the highway, but the major sort of line on Connect. So this obviously leads you through to the platforms at Coxley Newtown, and you can catch your trains and whatever you need to do. And again, things over there, tunnels over there, and over there. And the third and final station that was added into SCR 2.2 is, of course, Barton. And this one has a bit more of like a open thing by the seams of it. Obviously, there are these shops either side with no names on them. But as we go into the station, you can see how there's even a travel center here, when the other ones have just had the information and ticket desks. Obviously, we still have the ticket things here, and also the departure board and the seating arrangements and doors that you literally can't go into. But I feel like this is a station that is a pretty big sort of like interchange or things like that for Metro, because it feels like it's built up to handle more people. And obviously, if we go down onto the station by either using the escalator or the stairs, you can see how we have, again, numbered platforms. So it's a little bit weird how some of the Metro stations are numbered and a few are numbered, if that makes sense, or a few are, like this. It makes a little bit, it's just a little bit different, because obviously Stepford Central and stuff are, are obviously lettered A, B, C, D for Metro, and obviously these are now 1, 2, 3. Not really too sure what happened with that. But again, as you can see, completely underground. There are tunnels over there and also over there. And this is Barton, the third and final station that was added into SCR 2.2. And now we are at Stepford Central, as we are going to check out the stations that have dedicated Metro platforms. So one of them is at Stepford Central. And again, this was another one that we kind of saw, sneak peeked in the April Fool's update. So as you can see, this is the main part of the concourse, which is actually quite big. So I did say how Barton was probably one of the biggest, sort of like interchanges, but I also think obviously Stepford Central is obviously going to be there, and this leads up onto the other, or basically the mainline platforms, as you can see, and this obviously gives you access to the metro stations. Well, I say metro stations, not really the actual, you know, platforms, but the main station. And if we go down these escalators, this takes you to the platforms, and these are also numbered A, B, C, D. So it doesn't really make sense to me, but this is what it looks like at Stepford Central, and I can tell you what, they have really outdone themselves for this one. Let's actually go on to the other set of platforms, so then we can kind of see, you know, both platforms at the same time. And as you can see, you have the slight benches here, you know, as well. And you have these things, you know, for disabled passengers to get on and off the trains, which, you know, it's just a little bit, you know, a bit more detail, to be fair. And as you can see, more tunnels on either side. And yeah, this is what Stepford Central looks like with the metro operator added. Stepford East now, and once again, you know, we saw this as well, you know, sort of hinted in the April Fool's update, and metro platforms, again, A to D. I don't get it, but this is what it looks like anyway, as you can see, which actually looks kind of cool. And if we go down, obviously, onto the platforms, there are a lot of platforms here for you to use. Obviously, I think it's the same as Stepford Central. I think Stepford Central actually has, you know, more stations than Stepford East. But again, tunnels either way. And I'll tell you what, there is a lot of congestion when you are signaling the metro stations at Stepford East. I can tell you that, because all of them are, you know, going to four-ways and things like that. And honestly, it just gets so congested. It is unreal. But this is what Stepford East looks like with the metro stations added, as you can see. Benches here and just other stuff that you can expect to see at a station. Now, this is a station that has had a massive rebuild, as you can see by the offices, but this is Stepford High Street. So again, you have a bus terminal here, which is pretty good. There's only another handful of stations that have this sort of, you know, bus terminal, and this is the station concourse. Now, this, you know, offices build is gonna be left to a future video. I mean, it's nothing really special. It's basically where the new zone J is, you know, the new signaling zone, and just the different offices. But the one thing I would like to point out when I get onto the actual station, or when I get onto the actual platforms, well, obviously the platforms are underground, so let me see if I can try and show you if I zoom out. Look how close that is to the train tracks. There's only a few centimeters separating those two. Now, I'm assuming trains are obviously going to be running on this branch anyway, but that's super close to anyone that is signaling. You know, they're just going to look right and just see a piece of track there. So it's very dangerous for me, but I'll tell you what, it's a great place for train spotters to, you know, just sit there and just watch trains literally a few centimeters in front of them pass. So yeah, it's quite cool, but also very dangerous if it was realistic. Ellesmere Pond now, and this is once again another station that has had a massive renovation. As you can see, there's a brand new car park here, and if we try and figure out our way onto the actual station, there's obviously the crossing here that still remains, which is very close to obviously the station. And as you can see, this is what it looks like on the actual station, and a nice bridge here to separate the two platforms. And yeah, it just feels more inviting than the previous Ellesmere Pond, to be, you know, to be honest. And yeah, it does, obviously the pond there still remains. It does, you know, give the station a bit more atmosphere compared to what it used to. Obviously here's the waiting area with the departure board. There's also another one over here, which is very small, and to be honest, I think if I was in here, I'd be a little bit claustrophobic. But as you can see, you know, here are the express platforms, or the Airlink platforms, sorry. You know, the Airlink trains blast down into like Morgantown area, or at least I believe that's where Ellesmere Pond is, because Ellesmere Pond is here. And as you can see, here are the metro, you know, car markers. And that is the brand new Ellesmere Pond. And I think this is what they're talking about with the Coxley Bridge, with Coxley Newtown literally being there. I think that's literally all they mean. And now on to the trains. So if we go ahead and select Metro, you can see how we have 7 trains for you to drive. Now, the first train that you will ever get is the Class 717. So this train is completely free. However, I think you might have to do a few journeys on Connect before you can unlock this. You know, I don't think as soon as you join the game, you know, if you haven't even played SCR at all, you know, you can just jump straight into Metro and start driving. I don't know if that is entirely correct, but obviously this was moved from Connect over to Metro. So maybe you have to like have bought it on Connect first and then it will obviously transfer. I don't really know. Maybe you might have to pay for it if you haven't got the 717 on Connect already. All I'm just talking is absolutely rubbish, but that is the 717. We also have the Class 555, as you can see, and there's also the double variant of that. So there's a 5-car and 10-car variant. I should also mention the 717 is 6 cars, only 85 miles an hour, but the 555 is 50 mile an hour max top speed. And as you can see, this is what it looks like. It kind of gives me underground vibes, you know, a little bit, but that is that train. There is also the 756 that has also obviously been added onto Airlink as well. This is 75 miles an hour with a 3-car and 4-car variant, as you can see, and that is what it looks like. And then the 777 is the final train that was added onto Metro, with also a 4 and 8-car variant with the double and 75 miles an hour top speed. And these are the different routes that have been added. So the main ones I want to basically point out are these 7, I do believe. So Stepford Central to Morganstown, St. Helens Bridge to Morganstown, Stepford Central to Barton, which is a clockwise version, Willowfield to Barton, which is also as well a clockwise version. What it means by the clockwise version is the way you're going round the Barton route, because it's essentially a loop that you can do. So it means if you're going clockwise or anti-clockwise, and then it's St. Helens Bridge to Barton, which is also clockwise, and then we have Beachley to Barton, which is the anti-clockwise way, and then also Stepford Victoria to Barton, which is also you know, anti-clockwise as well. And this is what I was meaning about the track being so close to the signalling box at Stepford High Street. It's so close. But if we jump on the signalling desk, you can see this is kind of what the new Zone J looks like. So this is Stepford Central, this is Four Ways, this is Stepford East, and obviously this is High Street. And yeah, it's very congested along, you know, along this path I have, you know, seen. So that goes up to UFC, and obviously this goes up to St. Helens Bridge, sorry. And I'm pretty sure the setup is literally super simple. It is pretty much, you know, just this. So if I just switch a few signals to red, I believe this is pretty much the setup to my memory. I believe it's that, maybe. So not many, you know, that many signals to be changed, to be fair. To be honest, I don't see why this one is red, to be honest, because the, you know, platform B and C at Stepford Central kind of enforces this junction anyway. So honestly, this doesn't seem to conflict with anything. Obviously, it would conflict with platform B. So obviously, if you were trying to let a train on platform B, you obviously switch that and that. So yeah, I don't really know. And obviously, similarly over here as well at Stepford High Street, this basically enforces these two routes anyway, because obviously, you know, platform D at High Street conflicts with the train exiting from platform B. And if trains at Stepford East were going to platform C on High Street, it would also conflict with that junction as well. So I'm fairly sure that is how the signaling desk is set up. And that was a basic look at the brand new Metro operator that was added in SCR 2.2, and over the coming days I will try and do a few more update videos like I did when version 2.0 was dropped for SCR, so hopefully you guys will enjoy those. But thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and make sure to subscribe. It's completely free and you can always change your mind later, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. But until then, take care and peace out, and as always, stay fetchy.